Hey, just want to record this quick training for you guys to give you a little bit of value. It's how to create an offer that you can charge $3,000, $5,000, $8,000 per client to learn from you. Whether you teach guitar, you teach piano, you teach music production. I personally taught music production. I charged $8K. I was able to scale to about 600 grand in about 2 years. And it's not just me. This isn't just theory. This is proof. My students do the same thing. If you look here, Lee, he got paid in full $2,500. He got paid in full $3K. Eric here, he charges $4K. Zero objections at $4K is $5K next. He teaches guitar. Again, he taught. This is when he was at $3K. Pushed it up to $3K to $4K. $3K. Lee here $3K. So this is all actual tangible stuff. This is not just theory. We've all done it. So the reason why most people believe that they can't charge that much is because they feel like they don't have the accolades. They don't have the credits. They don't have the degrees. They don't have the credentials to be able to charge more because they feel like that's what's important when it's really not, because that has nothing to do with the client. That's just you and your ego, right? So that has nothing to do with your clients. You having a degree, you having the right accolades does nothing for your clients. So it matters less than you think. The competition charges less. You look around, you see the competition, they're charging $30 an hour. So you're like, maybe that's what I should do. Charging per hour basis. So again, this is charging for your time because you think that your time is what people want, but that's not true. Instead of charging for a result, because that's what your client works with you for. They work with you because at the end of it, they want a certain result. And a lot of people believe that what I teach is not worth it. And I'm going to show you why you can make it worth it. So what most people will do in this case when they're trying to figure out their offer and what to charge, they look around at the average cost of the market. So they look and they see, okay, that guy teaches guitar. He teaches guitar. He has a little bit more credits, so he charges a little bit more. This guy charges this much on average. And so you add all this up and you figure out what the average is. Okay, most people are charging $70 an hour. Since they're charging $70 an hour, I'm just starting out. Maybe I'll charge $60. That'll bring in a lot of clients. So they think that making this average, right, and seeing what the market has and charging a little less is what's going to bring them more clients. But that's not really the case. A lot of times when you look at things, if you go with the cheapest, you expect it not to be the best. And if you are looking for the best, you don't expect it to be the cheapest. So when you're pricing this way and you're pricing in a low market, what you're doing is you're attracting the people that are not serious and you're repelling the people that are most serious. Because the people that are looking for a massive outcome, a massive change, they're not looking for the cheapest result. They're looking for the best one. Okay, so this is how, first of all, your clients are going to see you and your branding. They market their degrees, credits, accomplishments. So in their marketing, they say, I've graduated from Berkeley, I worked with this company, I've done this, I've accomplished this. And again, that's self-centric marketing. That's not what the client can benefit from. Or they tailor different goals for every client. So this could be you too, where you're like, okay, well, this client, he's in this stage, so I'm going to help him with this. And then this client is in a different stage, so I'm going to help him with that. And this is what confuses your business model. So now you have 30 students and you have a different curriculum, different system for all of them. And that's how you confuse your business, and that breaks at scale, because you got to remember, simplicity is what scales. Complications are what breaks the formula. So this is what you should be doing if you would rather make money, more money, and have happier clients. So instead of doing all this, which you could be doing this now, but it's not your fault. This is just generally what most people do. What you want to do is create a specific offer with a specific measurable outcome. For example, I help musicians put together their first live set and sell at least 50 tickets. So do you see how that's measurable? You either help them put together their live set and sell 50 tickets, or you didn't. It's a pass or it's a fail. It's not a maybe I got the result, maybe it was worth it, don't know. A lot of times students will work with you continuously, and then one day they just drop off because they're paying hourly, they're paying per lesson. At one point they're like, is this worth it anymore? Am I getting better? I don't really know, because there's nothing measurable and there's nothing specific. Whereas if you had this, right, a specific outcome, like I help musicians put together their first live sets and sell at least 50 tickets. What's another one? I help intermediate piano players play piano players play any song they hear by ear within 90 days. I help advanced guitar players memorize each note so that when they audition for a band, they can learn the songs immediately. Okay, so if they were to be able to get any one of these outcomes, if a musician was able to put together a live set, sell 50 tickets on their first show, if they could play anything by ear in 90 days, if they could memorize all the notes, is that worth $3K? If this skill set could get them gigs, play with a band that they really like, do this as a career, is that worth $3K? So now this price point looks minuscule compared to the result and the outcome. A lot of times we'll blame it and say, our audience just doesn't have the money. They're broke. They're not serious. It's not them. It's actually us as the business owner. We haven't described the value in a way well enough for them to understand how valuable it truly is for them to pull the trigger. So the easy out, the easy scapegoat is to blame them and say that they're broke, when in reality it's our fault. But most people aren't self-accountable enough to know that, right? Or to fess up to that. But if you do, this is how you can learn how to get better. You get better at sales. You get better at showing the value. You make your offer more strong. Okay? So people will always buy things if they feel like the value is more valuable than the dollar amount that they trade you, no matter what. If they see the value as being greater, they will find a way to get the money. Okay? So if you walked by a dealership right now and you walked by and you saw it, you're like, is that a Lamborghini? And you looked on the price tag in the window, it said $10,000. You're like, there's no way that's real. There's no way that's $10,000, right? You would walk in a dealership and you're like, is that for real? It's like, yeah, it's $10,000 just for today though. You would do everything in your power. You would call up your parents. You would call up your long lost cousin. You would call all your friends and you would find a way to get $10,000 because you knew that immediately, if you got that Lamborghini, you'd be able to go and flip it for $200K. Right? So you don't have $10,000, but all of a sudden you can find $10,000. It's the same way here. If they deem it valuable enough, they're going to find the money and they're going to do it. You just haven't been able to prove that value yet. Okay, so price. What you should be doing instead of charging for your time is you should be pricing your service based on the significance of the outcome. Price your service based on the significance of the outcome, not your time, not based on the competition. Because this is truly what matters, is what they get out of it. So if they're able to get their first live set with 50 tickets sold, that's valuable, right? You can charge $3K, $5K for that. If you help piano players learn how to play any song they hear by ear within 90 days, that's what you should be charging to, because that's significant. That outcome is significant. You don't charge for the time that you teach them to learn how to do that. You charge based on the outcome. And this is where you can attach a high ticket price to it, because then this price point seems minuscule compared to the result that you're getting. Okay. And you don't want to always go out and see what your competition is doing and do it based off of them, because guess what? Most of the competition, I'm just going to say, they probably don't know what they're doing either. They're musicians as well, right? Do you think they're really savvy with business, sales, marketing, and stuff like that? So sometimes your competition isn't the best model to be modeling, because maybe they don't know what they're doing. And so if everyone keeps copying each other, everyone keeps running each other into the ground. You see? So we don't compare ourselves to the market. We don't sell our time. We sell based on the significance of the outcome of the result that we bring. Okay? I want to show you this chart. This is the cost and value chart. Okay. So as you can see here, in the beginning, the value is lower than the cost. If your value is lower than the cost, they're not going to pay you. This is why most people have trouble getting people to pay them. They're like, I'll teach you how to play piano. It's like, cool. I mean, that's not very valuable. It sounds cool. I mean, it's like, how much better? How good? Right? It's just, I'll charge you per hour and I'll teach you whatever you need to know. It's like, well, obviously the value of that doesn't sound that great. It's not that appealing. It's not that enticing. So if you can increase the value of your service, of your product, you can increase the cost. As long as there's still a discrepancy between the two, as long as the value is above the cost. So you can see here, this value curve goes up significantly. But as you notice, the cost also goes up. So it doesn't matter if it's $2,000. Let's say this point right here, this point of intersection is $2,000. The cost and the value are the same. When they're the same, people don't buy things from you. It would be pointless. If you said, I'll show you how to make $10, and they're like, how much is that? It's like, it's going to cost you $10. Who would do that? It's like me and you trading $5, right? I have $5. I'll trade you $5. Let's trade back. Okay, we still each have $5. Let's trade again. We still have $5. There's no point in doing it. So the value of your product and your service always needs to be above the cost. As long as it's above, you can continuously raise your prices, but you just keep making sure that the value is greater and your costs and your pricing can keep rising as long as there's a discrepancy between the two. Hopefully that makes sense. As well, if you make strong offers, this is where your marketing becomes more effective, right? This is the first example. This is what most people do. They say, I will tailor the lessons that I teach you to your specific needs. So then this guy has a specific need. This guy has a different need. This guy has a different need. This guy has a different need. And this guy has a different need. Imagine if you just 10x this. You wanted to make more money, right? Okay, so you 10x this. Now you have 10 times more different curriculums that you have to think about, and your whole system gets confusing and it breaks. You start losing clients over time. It doesn't make any sense, right? So do you see how difficult it would be to market this and see how much less valuable it seems is perceived to the person if you don't have a clear outcome? You have to tailor make everything. Everything gets confusing. It all breaks. Whereas if you have a specific offer and you attract people, you say, this is my offer. This is exactly what I help people with. Anybody who hears that and wants that solution will come to you. So then instead of you confusing your business and having 8,000 curriculums, you have one curriculum and everybody's working toward that same result. This is how it becomes easier to sell. This is how your marketing becomes powerful. This is how your offer becomes more valuable and you can charge more money for it. So this is what most people are doing, 90% of people, but ask yourself, do you want the result 90% of people have? Because I know a lot of music teachers out there aren't making a whole lot of money, but there's 1% of people that are just doing things a little bit differently and they're making all the money. So which one do you want to be? Which one sounds better to you? If any of this sounds good to you, hopefully this helped. If you want to learn more and learn I can help you with creating your offer, doing the marketing, setting this all up. I'll leave a button around this video where you can book a phone call with me. Would love to chat with you and see if I can help you in your situation. Cheers.